Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? UFC Fight Night, Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady just wrapped up last night. I'm going to go through the entire card, giving my reaction and breakdown to what happened. I'm going to start with the prelims and with the main card. If you guys enjoyed, drop a like and a sub. And here we go. Let's just get right into it and get finished with it, because I already tried to record this once and it fucked up twice. Here we go. Nathan Fletcher versus Ziggy Mantis Ramashka. I had Nathan Fletcher getting a submission either in round 1 or 2, and Nathan Fletcher gets an arm triangle in round 2 after looking for it in round 1. Very impressive win by Nathan Fletcher. I thought he looked really good on the ground. I thought even on the feet, he was going toe-to-toe with Ramashka. A lot of people thought Ramashka was going to be able to impose his kickboxing and just beat the fuck out of Nathan Fletcher on the feet and force Nathan Fletcher to go shoot for a takedown when he's tired. Didn't happen. Quite the opposite. Nathan Fletcher was able to mix up quite well. He looked good on the feet. He looked obviously he looked way better on the ground. These guys are teammates. Both of them knew each other's weaknesses. Nathan Fletcher just seemed to know all of them. And he was able to dominate Ramashka and win in round 2 very early on. I thought it was an incredible performance. I think Nathan Fletcher's going to be really impressive at 145. I think if he's able to improve on his striking, I think he's going to look a lot better than a lot of these other 145ers. I think having a ground game like that and being able to strike at a high caliber like a kickboxer, I think it's going to be an incredible advantage for him, especially after seeing how fast he was able to get that on the ground. He had it a couple times. It looked like in the first round he was almost able to get it, but Ramashka was able to get his arm back underneath to avoid the head and arm triangle, but it is what it is. Very good win by Nathan Fletcher. Here we go. Next on the prelims, we have Andrade Petroski versus Dylan Budka. This is exactly how everyone thought it was going to go. Andrade Petroski wins by laying on top of Dylan Budka for 3 rounds. He was able, he could have switched a mount 3 times. He had an arm bar 1 time. He had 2 arm triangles that he didn't give. Even in, I think, the 3rd round, he had an arm triangle. But he would rather have Dylan Budka just stay on his back instead of get a finish. Not sure why. Dylan Budka looked like he gassed in the first round like he did against Cesar Almeida. Looked like he had no cardio whatsoever. Looked like he just didn't want to be in the cage anymore. And I'm pretty sure he's getting kicked out of the octagon after this one, being 7-4 now, losing 2 in a row. Andrade Petroski, it's a victory, right? But it's not impressive because Dylan Budka looked like he was giving up. He's gassed, and you have more advantageous positions you could be going to. And you don't, right? And I'm not sure why he doesn't. And it doesn't make sense to me, seeing as wouldn't you want to get out of there faster? Don't you want to prove to everyone that you're a threat? You're at 185, man. These guys are not going to let you take them down Andrade Petroski needs to understand that 185ers are not going to let him take them down like that. It's not going to happen. You can't just lay and pray and hope. Marvin Vettori's not going to let you do that. He's going to explode up. Robert Whittaker's not going to let you do that. Derek Brunson's not going to let you do that. None of these guys would let you do that. Derek Brunson's not even in the fucking UFC, and I bet you he'd beat Andrade Petroski. He'd knock him out, probably. I don't understand what he thinks he's going to be able to accomplish by laying and praying. And, he even said after the fight, oh, I could have got it a couple times, but, what are you saying, man? You literally just said you could have done better. That's not something you want to say in front of Dana. Anyway, next on the prelims, we have Jacqueline Amorim versus Vanessa Demopoulos. I thought this was a disgrace. Jacqueline Amorim gets a submission 3 minutes 28 seconds into round number 1. Gets an armbar by fitting her hand inside the glove of Vanessa Demopoulos. Vanessa Demopoulos was attempting to rotate on Jacqueline Amorim after having her back taken immediately in the start of the fight. And in doing so, Jacqueline Amorim was like, fuck that, shoved her fingers inside the glove right here with her thumb on the wrist and pulled. And she was able to secure an armbar position, and she got her and made her tap. This is the position. You feel free to tell me if you believe that is inside the glove or not. Feel free to leave a comment, because I believe it's inside the glove. I don't know who thinks that's not inside the glove. If you think that's not inside the glove, you feel free to show me what prescription you have for your glasses, because they need to get fucking renewed. That's horseshit, and I don't remember the guy's name, Malkoven. I don't give a fuck what your name is. Whoever the ref is, you're terrible. You need to get fired. You should not ref amateur MMA. You should not ref amateur boxing. You should not ref slap fight. You shouldn't ref anything. This is terrible. This is a blatant foul, and if we're not calling fouls, dude, don't get rid of the rules. No 12-6. That's getting rid of November. No more knees on the ground. No more illegal knees on the ground. Soccer kicks on the head on the ground. Bring them back. Bring everything back. Let's go. Hair pulls. Let's go. If we're bringing everything back, if we're going to secure wins by no means, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, let's go. Bring it back. I don't mind. I think Vanessa Demopoulos is going to be able to get her in rounds 2 and 3. I think she was going to win both of those rounds after Jacqueline gasses, because she always shows that she has no gas tank after the first round and a half. So, it is what it is. I'm pissed off about the fight. I'm also pissed off about this one, but I'm also happy for Gabriel. Gabriel Santos versus Yiza. Gabriel Santos wins a very good decision, shows a very good mix-up in the striking and the wrestling. It was a complete war with these guys. These guys were striking till the very end. I thought Gabriel Santos won 29-28 pretty much, or 30-27 even. He probably going to give it to him. A couple times he grabbed literally inside the cage. Again, bullshit. You should be, especially after warnings, like, give a fucking point. But it is what it is. Gabriel Santos wins a very hard-fought decision. A lot of people thought Yiza was going to be able to come up and just starch Gabriel Santos. Not happening. Yiza has not, like I say this every time about Road to UFC fighters, they do not fight the same level of competition that UFC fighters fight coming up. Even in the regional scene. Like, the Road to UFC guys, if you look back, a lot of these guys fight in the same organization as each other, and they fight each other multiple times because there's no one else to fight. There is no one else to fight. They're fighting themselves all the time. So you're not getting better, and you never see these guys get better until they come to the UFC and then start improving with the PEI and stuff. Next in the prelims, we have Andrade Lima versus Felipe Dos Santos. I had Andrade Lima by decision. I thought he was going to beat the shit out of Felipe Dos Santos. I thought I was a little bit worried because Felipe Dos Santos has robbed people in the past, like Victor Altamirano. I thought Victor won that fight, even being that Victor's not that good. I thought it was a little bit of horse shit. Andrade Lima just showed that he's better in the striking than Felipe Dos Santos. These guys still went to war. It was still very interesting, but Andrade Lima is just more powerful, right? And I think he's going to have a bit of problem with other 125ers. I don't think his wall defense is going to work as well. I don't think walking down every single fucking guy you fight is a good way to win. But Andrade Lima continues his undefeated streak, at 10-0. Felipe Dos Santos goes down to 8-2. I think he's going to have a little bit, I think he needs a little bit more time. I think Felipe Dos Santos is very good. I think he's a little bit more time to work on his game. I think he can be really good. I think he has the cardio for it. I just don't think he knows what to do when someone's overwhelming him. I don't think he knows what to do when he's losing exchanges. I don't think he knows how to put the pieces together when he's inside of a fight. I think he has to learn before the fight happens, and if it doesn't happen, he can't learn on the fly. And I think that's a big problem with some fighters. I think he needs to work on that because Andrade Lima was figuring him out throughout that whole fight. Especially with 2.5 inches of reach advantage. Should have been popping that jab and moving, son. And instead, you're popping nothing. You're popping hooks and stuff and then running away. I don't know. Isaac Delgarian versus Brendan Marat. Next in the prelims. I thought Isaac should have got him in the first round. Brendan has no business being in the UFC. He has no business being in that fight. He has no business being in the octagon with Isaac Delgarian. And Isaac Delgarian somehow gets to his first, second round finish because, I don't know. I guess, it was pretty close in the first round. Isaac probably could have stopped it if he landed some more ground and pound. He was beating the fuck out of Brendan, but Brendan was moving just enough that the ref didn't stop it. Brendan gave up an arm triangle in the second round after it looked like... Isaac looked like he could have had it 6 times. I'm not going to lie. It looked like he had it a couple times, but Brendan moved, I guess, well enough that he didn't get it, or Isaac wanted a knockout so bad, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It was a good arm triangle near the end of round 2. I had under 1.5 at minus 300. Never take anything minus 300 or above. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. But Isaac Delgarian does get the win. Again, it's impressive, but for being the biggest UFC favorite in literally history, you should win in the first round. Chris Padilla next on the top of the prelims. Chris Taco Padilla versus Rong Zhu. I had Taco. Taco gets a KO victory. It was absolutely fucking disgusting. I thought Taco was incredibly impressive. I thought it was going to go to the ground. I thought these guys were going to show even the ground game as much as they showed the striking. Not what happened. Chris Padilla absolutely torched up Rong Zhu in the striking. I thought it was incredibly impressive. I thought he could have... Where the fuck is the picture? I'm trying to find the picture of the cut. Or not the cut. The swelling on Rong Zhu's eye. I thought it was incredibly impressive by Chris. I thought he wasn't going to have the striking capability that Rong Zhu has, seeing as Rong Zhu is an exception for Road to UFC. I've seen some of his fights where he fucking absolutely torches guys with his strong hands. He was very strong handed here as well. Chris got tagged a couple times pretty well. But again, they're not the same caliber. They don't have this, like, people quit, I feel like, in Road to UFC a lot quicker. Look at that. Rongshu didn't quit. Ref called time. And Rongshu punched the cage knowing that they were about to stop the fight because that eye was fucked. He got an elbow right in the eye, okay? And then he pointed to Chris and said, that was an eye poke. And Chris is like, no, looks at the ref, the ref's like, no, it wasn't. And he fucking comes up, lays another one on him, starts fucking throwing hooks. Holy shit. It was incredible by Chris. I'm very impressed. I'm really excited for him at 155. I think if he can improve in the striking even more, and I think if he can get to the point where he's able to secure himself on a back instead of being loosely on the back like he did against James Lyontop, I think he's going to be an incredible prospect at 155, especially at 28 years of age. He looks old, man, but he's only 28. He has plenty of time. He's not even in his prime yet. I think he's going to be an incredible guy at 155. All right. Start of the main card, we have Yanel Ashmouz versus Trevor Peek. I had Trevor Peek. I thought he was going to be able to overwhelm Yanel Ashmouz in the first 2 rounds, win those rounds, and take him to a decision. Instead, Yanel Ashmouz goes toe-to-toe with Trevor Peek in the 2nd and 3rd round, overwhelming him with the grappling. I thought Trevor Peek won round 1. 2 judges disagree with me. I think you're fucking stupid. He did way more damage in the first round, and if that's the main criteria, Trevor Peek won round 1. And if that's the main criteria, Trevor Peek did a lot in round 2 as well. I don't think he won the round, but I'm just saying. Yanel Ashmouz, I thought won 29-28, very impressive. I needed Trevor Peek for a $1,000 parlay. It lost. It is what it is. It was only a $15 parlay. I did it a 7 pick, and it almost hit. I just needed Trevor Peek, and then what is it? Steve Garcia? Yeah, Steve Garcia. I was going to say Ryan Garcia. But, I mean, we all knew Steve was going to win. Anyway, Trevor Peek looked good in the first round, but again, he said he was going to be calculated. He said he was going to take his time. 2 minutes in, he gets punched in the face. He's like, fuck this, I'm not being calculated anymore. Started fucking winging. Winging from the ceiling, winging from his hip, winging from the fucking commentator's desk. He did not care. He was swinging to end the fight. Ashmouz, the Red Fox, man, they call him, he's able to get away. He's able to move his head. He's able to move out of the way. He's able to keep the strikes away from the most dangerous positions. Ashmouz was able to overwhelm Trevor Peek in the later stages of the fight, was able to use his cardio to his advantage, take down Trevor Peek multiple times, hold him there. In the 3rd round, Trevor Peek was getting up, but he just getting ragdolled in the end. Trevor Peek loses a hard-to-fight decision. Whatever. I think Yanel Ashmouz might have a problem in the late, like the higher rankings at 155. I think Trevor Peek's never going to be there, but whatever, man. I really thought he was going to be able to do something there. Next on the main card, we have Cody Durden versus Matt Schnell. Matt Schnell looked impressive in the first round. He had nice boxing. This is at 135, by the way. They are ranked at 125, but this was a 135 fight because Cody Durden was on 4 days' notice. Cody Durden wins by arm triangle in the 2nd round on 4 days' notice. Matt Schnell leaves his gloves inside the octagon and retires from the sport. It was a very, very good career for Matt Schnell. The last 3 years has not been kind to him. He's had a lot of losses, a lot of knockouts, but he was an incredible if you watch his other fights, man, he's an incredible fighter. He was still incredible in this fight in the first round. He looked really impressive. He looked like Matt Schnell of old. He was rolling really well with the punches, landing very good in the pocket. Had a cut on his eye. Cody Durden was bleeding from his nose. Looked like they were going to have a really, really hard-fought decision. Instead, Matt Schnell falls ill to a takedown and gets anaconda choked out by Cody Durden because I don't know why he went for that takedown, but it is what it is. I'm really happy for Cody Durden, man, but I'm really sad for Matt Schnell. He like being 34 years of age, you're popular. Like Kevin Lee says, right? Everyone knows your name, but you're not rich. I don't think Matt Schnell has that much money. I don't think, he was crying on the way out, man. He didn't even have a post-fight speech. Commentators recognize it afterwards. It's really sad. I really feel for him. I really hope he's able to find something good in life, and I'm really glad for Cody Durden. I hope he's able to find a home at 135, or if he wants to go back to 125, you can do that too, but he looked good at 135, man. He looked big. He looked very strong. I mean, 4 days notice, I guess you're not cutting anything, but I don't know. He looked better at bantamweight, it looked like. Next on the main card, we have Steve Garcia versus Kyle Nelson. I had Steve Garcia by round 1 KO. I thought he was going to beat the fuck out of Kyle Nelson. Instead, I get surprised by Kyle Nelson taking his back immediately. Immediately, Steve Garcia slips while throwing a punch. Immediately. And Kyle Nelson's like, Yippee! Grabs him, rips him to the ground, grabs his back and holds him there looking for a choke. Okay? Steve Garcia looked like he was just going to give up the first round. Looked like he didn't give a fuck. Looked like he was just going to force something in round 2 as soon as they stood up. Instead, I was wrong about that too. Steve Garcia switches and explodes when Kyle Nelson leaves a loose body lock. And turns on Kyle Nelson and starts beating the fuck out of him with elbows and punches that I only seen in hell. I've only seen these in hell. Literally in my nightmares. Steve Garcia is laying... Dude, he laid a fucking elbow on Kyle Nelson right on the temple or in the back of the head too. Bang! Bounces off and he covers up, beats the fuck out of him. Mark Smith stops it. Dude, holy shit. He was absolutely... I'm pretty sure it's Mark Smith too. Absolutely insane. Steve Garcia completely reverses position, beats the fuck out of Kyle Nelson, gets the victory in round 1. Not even 4 minutes into the fucking fight. Absolutely unreal. Steve Garcia is still the meme machine, still on a 5-fight win streak, still coming for fucking blood. He's still the man. I still love Kyle Nelson. He's from Huntsville, not too far away from where I live, but still... Steve Garcia, bro, he's absolutely unreal. I won a $600 parlay with Steve Garcia getting that knockout with Chris Padilla, Andre Lima, Gabriel Santos, and Andre Petroski inside of it. Incredible victory for Steve Garcia. I think at fucking 145, if he can get better at the grappling, if he's able to, work on some takedown defense and some reverses and stuff. It's not because of this fight. This fight is not indicative of that. Just because of his previous fights, he's had some problems where he's lost, very early on in his career, right? Against these guys. But if he can work on that, I think he's gonna be really dominating at 145. Seeing as his power is fucking Satan given. But again, an incredible victory for Steve Garcia. Next, we have the co-main event. If you guys enjoyed, drop a like, drop a sub. I will be dropping another video Tuesday for predictions for UFC 306, I think it is. Is it 306? UFC 306? I just want to make sure. I think I'm not... Oh my god, that's 306. Yes, UFC 306, Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili. I will also be doing a Thursday video for a MMA news recap, and I will also be doing Contender Series. Woohoo! Alright, co-main event, we have Natalia Silva versus Jessica Andrade. I had Andrade. I thought she was going to be able to piece up Natalia Silva in the later stages of the fight, especially seeing as she has incredible power. Instead, Natalia Silva showed that she is a crazy kickboxer. She's throwing side kicks from 2 feet away from Andrade. She's throwing high kicks from 2 feet away from Andrade. Spinning side kicks, spinning high kicks, spinning jump kicks, fucking Superman punches. Natalia Silva was throwing everything, okay? Jessica Andrade had a good first round. I thought she won the first round. I thought Natalia Silva won all the other rounds. I thought the Superman punch in the combo at the end won Jessica Andrade the round. Natalia Silva, very impressive, dude. She has all levels of the game. She should have been at minus 300. She showed exactly why she was that big of a favorite. She showed that she is one of the most dominating people at 125 for the women. She looks fucking dangerous. She looks like she could be the next champ, really. She's on an incredible win streak. She's on a, 5, 6, and then 6. She's on a 12-fight win streak. Holy shit. Yeah, she's unreal. Jessica Andrade, unfortunately, taking the loss. She looked like she got beat the fuck up in that fight. And she did. She got outstruck significantly in every single round, it looked like. And it looked like Natalia Silva had everything to offer her, even while backing up. Jessica Andrade was trying to force the pace, trying to keep her in the pocket. Natalia Silva kept her game plan and won the fight because of it. Very impressive listening to her coaches. Very impressive with the corner work, from both women. I really like what both corners were saying, telling them the right things, not giving them bad advice. And Natalia Silva comes out with the victory. Next, we have the main event of the evening: Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. Sean Brady wins by decision. Gilbert Burns landing some nice power shots inside the fight, but not enough, not even close to enough to point at all. Sean Brady landed probably 100 more strikes than Gilbert Burns did, significant strikes, and probably 200 more strikes total. Sean Brady beat the fuck out of Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns looked like he was taking the first couple rounds off. Rounds 3, 4, 5, he looked like he had a little bit more aggression. But again, not enough to win any rounds. I thought he might have lost 49-46. I thought he won only round 3 when he was piecing up Sean Brady just a little bit, making a little bit of a comeback. Dorino looks like his time is over. It looks like he laid his gloves also down in the octagon. He had them off whenever they were reading the decision. I believe Gilbert Burns is retired at this point. Sean Brady, an incredible victory. He will be fighting probably either JDM next or Ian Machado Gary. I'm not sure who. And then after that, it will be Bilal Muhammad for the title. Gilbert Burns, man, like I just don't understand what the game plan was working with Robbie Lawler and stuff, like waiting too long. You're not Robbie Lawler. You don't have that type of explosion. You don't have the type of cardio to explode like that in the later stages of the fight, looking for a finish. Gilbert does have the power, but it just didn't look like he had any of the cardio. It looked like he just kind of gave up. Looked like even in the 5th round, it didn't look like he was very urgent. It looked like he was just giving Sean Brady what he'd given him the entire rounds before. And Sean Brady came out with a very hard-fought decision, getting hit a couple times where it looked like he was in trouble, but being able to mix up in the grappling where he was able to keep himself safe and keep himself away from danger. Gilbert Burns and Sean Brady were even going into this fight, and right before the fight started, the line swelled up to -200 for Sean Brady for good reason. You could very clearly see it. A lot of people voted for Burns. A lot of people had Burns by knockout. Just didn't happen, guys. It is very sad. The time for our favorite fighters is over. Gilbert Burns, Michael Chandler, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, John Jones, Dominic Reyes, Jan Blachowicz, all of these guys. The time is over for these guys. They're very old. You'll be starting to see, if they're still fighting, they're all going to start declining. It's just how it is. Kamaru Usman, Israel Adesanya, the Three Kings era is over, boys. It's just how it is. Like, it's unfortunate, but the new blood is coming up. Sean Brady is an incredible prospect to watch. You guys should be fucking scared of him coming up. Bilal Muhammad is not scared of him. He even said, though, he's going to be a tough man to beat. I think Sean Brady had an off night when he fought Bilal Muhammad. I still think it's a phenomenal fight, but it's going to be a war. That's all I got for you guys this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys cashed some parlays this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the entire card. I will be seeing you guys next Saturday for UFC 306. I will for the entire card. I will be seeing you guys Tuesday and Thursday for videos, and I'll be seeing you Tuesday for a Contender Series if I decide to stream it. That's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all later. Peace.